Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome to our coffee times. So today I'm here to talk to you about the first 4 movies that belong to Welcome to the Blumhouse, a cooperation between Blumhouse and Amazon, and the first 4 exclusives are already out and available on Amazon Prime.
It's coffee time.
So I decided to check out the 4 Blumhouse and Amazon exclusive that came out in the month of October to see what's up, to see what's the tea. And to be honest, I was under the impression that these 4 movies were going to be like horror movies, but honestly I felt like really horror was like 1.5 maybe. So I just decided to talk to you about the 4 movies, my kind of little review on them, my thoughts on them without any spoilers at all, just so that you know what you're getting yourself into before you watch the movies, because I do feel like for some of these I went into them with the wrong expectations and I got a type of movie that it's not what I thought I had signed up for. So I'm just here to let you know my first impressions on these 4 movies. Before we move forward, if you love horror and if you love movies, please consider subscribing to the channel. I also talk about TV shows, collectibles, all of that good stuff. So if you want, just click the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell. Today we are going to start actually with the movie that I like the least, and we will end up with the one that I like the most. So we end up in a positive note because in general I was kind of disappointed with the quality of these 4 movies. That being said, let's start with the first movie, The Evil Eye. This is a 2020 movie release and it is the story of a mother that is convinced her daughter's new partner, it is a reincarnation of somebody from her past. So that is basically the plot. That is sadly also the whole movie. Honestly, this is not horror at all. I would say this is a family drama with maybe a little bit of mystery added to it. But my most, the problem that I had the most with this movie is that it felt really dragging and repetitive. It just felt like we were not going anywhere. We were just going in circles, like the conversations felt repetitive. And I just felt like this movie got so long because there was nothing really happening at all apart from the mother suspecting that the daughter's partner was a reincarnation of somebody from her dark past, but that's it. And I was really sad because I was excited to see this movie made and see the Indian cast, the culture, to see more about their religion, their beliefs, and everything made it kind of interesting to me. But then the movie just fell flat for me. Unfortunately, I ended up giving this movie only 1 star because, like I said, everything felt really repetitive. There was moments where I was already like, I was just annoyed by the movie because nothing was happening. I felt like I was losing my time. But I also heard about other people that have enjoyed this movie, so just because it wasn't for me doesn't mean it's not gonna be something for you. But if you go into it, please note there is really not much horror at all in this movie. I would not say this movie is horror. Next we have The Lie, and this is a movie that actually aired at a festival in 2018 and now it has come out as an Amazon exclusive this year. And I realized that this is actually based on a German movie called We Monsters, and I didn't know about this, so I think I'm gonna try to find the German movie to kind of compare and see where the original inspiration came from. I think that's gonna be really interesting. This is a psychological thriller, and we do have as our main character Joey King, who is an actor that I normally enjoy to see. The problem with this movie is basically, again, the plot that you get described on the synopsis of this movie is nearly the whole movie. That's it. In order for me to talk about this movie, I have to talk about the first around 15 minutes or so, maybe 20 minutes of the movie, which contains, I guess, one of the spoilers or plot twists from the first 15 minutes. So in case that you don't want to know, you can skip a little bit ahead, but if I don't talk about that, I cannot talk about the movie at all. So basically we have a teenage daughter, she's 15. her dad is driving her to a ballet camp where she's going to stay. And on the way there, they see the daughter's best friend waiting at a bus stop, and they decide to pick her up because they're both going to the same place. They're all both going to this ballet kind of camp. And at one point, the friend really needs to pee, and they decide to stop at the side of the road even though it's freezing cold outside and it's snowing. And the two girls go to do their business, and at some point we find out that our main character, the daughter, has pushed her friend to this half-frozen lake. Basically, the whole movie is the father and the daughter trying to cover up what happened. So that's why the movie is called The Lie, because they are lying about what happened that day. And that's basically it. That's the movie. And I actually did enjoy this movie for the most part. I think that the acting was really strong. I also think that they did a great job when it comes to the whole atmosphere of the movie, because all the colors were really cold, and it was always freezing, so it kind of gave you this vibe. And the only problem that I had with this movie is that a couple of twists you already see coming, and I know also for a fact that a lot of people are not gonna like the ending. So this one, again, is not a horror movie. This is more of a psychological thriller, in which something happens and then they're just trying to cover it up. So if you kind of like this investigation or this type of scenarios, then maybe you want to give it a try. I personally gave this one only 2 out of 5 because, like I said, there were positive things about it and I'm glad I watched it, but it's not a movie that blew me away or that I would rewatch. Moving on with Black Box, and this one is kind of like a combination of sci-fi with a little bit of horror, but just a little bit, just the right amount. It's not like 100% horror movie. And this is about our main character that after a car accident in which he lost his wife, he is having trouble with his memories, he's having trouble remembering, and so he undergoes an experiment to try to help him recover his memories, and he gets even more confused, let's just put it that way. And so this movie, there is not too much I can talk about without talking big spoilers, so I'm just gonna let you know that this is actually a great psychological exploration of the human mind and experiments in the human mind. I think if you like things like Black Mirror or the new movie Possessor, things like that, you might enjoy this one. I think the movie totally pays off because you don't see the twists coming, unlike the other movies that I have talked about where they are completely predictable. This one had a really nice twist that I did not see coming, and I really did enjoy it because you were really caring for the characters, so you were really rooting for them. I think it's really dark and creepy. It has a couple of moments that it gets like really creepy, and I really did enjoy this one. I think it's kind of like a nice sci-fi combined with a little bit of horror, and definitely worth a watch. I gave this one 2.5 out of 5, and like I said, really enjoyed it. And this is one that I would definitely recommend you to check out if you like, especially experiments, brains, and kind of sci-fi with a bit of horror. And now let's talk about the last movie and my favorite, Nocturne. I gave this one 3 out of 5 stars. I thought from the 4 movies that we have so far from this new collection, this was the more horror accurate movie. For me, it felt like a kind of toned down version of The Perfection, the original Netflix movie. It was definitely not as messed up as The Perfection, because that's a really messed up movie, but I really did enjoy this one and the concept. So of course it is not really something that it's completely new, but I really liked the execution, I really liked the visuals, and I really liked the acting as well, and everything that they did, you know, with the colors and the rooms, and I really did enjoy this movie a lot. And basically we're following 2 sisters, Juliet and Vivian, and they have been playing piano since they were kids, and they are now in this prestigious school, and they're kind of really competitive with each other. So one day Juliet finds a journal from an older student that committed suicide, and she finds some weird drawings and some weird stuff in this journal, and that's when things get complicated. Now, this movie kind of reminded me, you know, to your typical Asian horror movies where there is something cursed, there is something that makes people go crazy. You know, this kind of type of Asian horror movies where people end up doing the same stupid thing, like finding some ritual and doing it, or finding a tape and playing it, you know, this kind of stuff. I really did enjoy this one. Like I said, I thought that the colors were really well thought. They were also very pale, kind of woody colors, and the rooms sometimes were small, kind of claustrophobic rooms when they had to be. Other times there were these huge rooms. And I don't know, I really enjoyed this one for a lot of reasons, and I absolutely loved the ending a lot. So this is so far for me my favorite from all of the 4 that we have already out. These are the 4 that they announced they were going to be released in the month of October. I'm not really sure when the other 4 are going to be out. I don't know if they have already announced it, but because I do have Prime, as soon as I see them up, I'll make sure to watch them to also give you my thoughts on them. So I hope that this video actually helped you guys to know which movies you would like to check out. Personally, for me, I think the last 2, Black Box and Nocturne, are my favorite ones. Those are the 2 that I would recommend you to definitely check out. And the other 2 ones, The Lie and Evil Eye, I would only check them if you really want to, or you know, if you just want to do it, but they're nothing special. And especially The Evil Eye was really just dragging a lot for me, and the only one that I would consider really horror would be Nocturne. So if you just want pure horror movie, I would just go for that one. Alright guys, so this was everything for today. Let me know down below if you have already checked any of these movies, or if there's any other Amazon exclusive you would recommend me. I got Amazon Prime only, I think, this year around April or something, so there might be other older ones that I have missed. So let me know down below if there's any other recommendations that you might have for me. Let's talk about it in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Please give the video a big thumbs up for support, and if you want to follow me, as always, all my social media is listed down below, and I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye.